The figure skater Sonda Dubravcic will be the final carrier of the flame, a 19-year-old girl, native of Zagreb. She'll take it from the cross-country ski racer and make that long journey up the steps. She was chosen simply because the Yugoslavs liked the idea of a young, charming girl representing their nation. Remember, 4 years ago, Dr. Charles Morgan Kerr, a psychologist, lit the flame as a representative of all the flag bearers. But there she is, Sonda's moment in the sun. She's a good figure skater, by the way. Not too long ago, defeated Rosalind Sumner, the world champion, in a meet here in Yugoslavia. We asked her last night, what will it mean to you? She said, just the biggest thrill ever. There are many athletes in the Olympics, but only one person gets to light the torch. I just hope I don't get tired, she said, running up 94 steps. I suspect she'll make it. Young girl representing her nation and the world of winter sport right now. Now, watch as she goes up the stairway. A flag begins to come up behind her. Look at this. And it'll go all the way up with all the colors of the Olympic rings. That was the idea of the set designer, Mita Hocheva. Now you also see in those orange colors there, 150 ballet dancers from all across Yugoslavia. They'll be dancing on the ramp. Came out of those doors behind them, which just opened up. Count them if you'd like. 94 to the top. There she is. Flame has arrived.
Altius, Fortius, brže, više, snažnije, složnije,
radosnije. Obvious, Fortius, faster, higher, stronger, unitedly, joyfully. Inebriated by the beauty of the snow, we bravely soar to heights unseen. Our youth will set the world aglow and clasp the art in games supreme. It's a tough world. The Olympic flame still burns. It will burn until these games are concluded. Just a marvelous moment here. Beautiful.
But here are the Soviets on the verge of recapturing the gold medal and doing it in very impressive fashion.
Although there are 10 players on this team that were on the team in 1980, the only player that remains from 1976, the only player who has a gold medal in his possession is the goaltender Tretiak. And now he will have 3.
Sapporo, Innsbruck, and now he'll have one to take home from Sarajevo, Yugoslavia. Just 20 seconds remaining in the game. A goal in the first period, then an early goal in the second. 2-0 the score. It's one of those games in which the game is not really as close as the score would indicate necessarily. The Soviets controlled the pace and the tempo of the game. Scored the 2 goals. Tretiak with a shutout, and the gold medal belongs to the Soviet Union.
you can hear the Soviet fans chanting, "Molodtsi, Molodtsi, bravo, bravo." The team is a very deserving victor.
So the Soviet Union wins it. The final score 2-0. A very happy team, obviously. And Mike, I'm sure that the thoughts that you have right now as you watch a celebration of a different ilk have to take you back, though, 4 years.
That's a little different. Well, Herb smiled briefly like that in 1980 after we won. I don't know if he may be crying a little, too, because I saw him wiping his eyes.
Yeah.
It was interesting to watch the players throw their sticks in the stands. You should go down and see if I can get one.
Well, they took a page out of the book of you fellas in 1980. But Tikhonov, who has that, not necessarily a stern look, but a very serious look throughout the Olympics, with a big smile, he's got the gold back as the Soviet Union defeats Czechoslovakia at the Zetra Arena. The Soviets win it by a score of 2-0. All right. A lot of the Americans are already on their feet in the Zetra Arena. Scott Hamilton goes after the gold medal right here.
Look at his face. Serious? He is not going to get blown off of this course if he can help it. And I think what he wants more than anything is to do a good job. Here's the first move, a triple Lutz. Nice, nice, nice. Triple jump number 2, a triple flip. And he popped open on that completely. It won't hurt him a bit, I don't think. now he's made his mistake. How many times I've seen him do that triple flip. Triple toe Wally, neat, clean, and perfect. Good sitting position. Look at how straight the back is. Russian split. Another one.
Going for the gold here about halfway through his performance.
Watch him. Step up. Good tight double axel. Step. And another. Oh. Nice. should have been a triple jump. It's what he usually completed that very sensitive center section of the music with. He elected to do a double. That's okay, too. Well, how nice to see that he's won. I'm sure he's won. I don't think anybody else will pull up over him. And how nice. It wasn't his best performance, but, you know, so what? You judge a guy by his overall work.
Just came off and said sorry to Don Laws.
Listen, he hasn't got anything to be sorry for with the pressure that's been on him, maintaining this and going where he's been going. That was wonderful.
Yep.
I don't care if there were a few misses that he didn't get done.
We've seen him happier. I think he was looking maybe for his all-time performance. I'm not certain it was that, but as you say, Dick, I would think good enough to win it. And he's looking up at the board for what he hopes will be the coronation right now. The marks will first come up, of course, as they always do, for technical merit. Scott Hamilton was first after the compulsory figures. He finished second in the short program to Brian Orser. And here are the marks now as they come up. The Yugoslavian judge of 5'6", the Swedish judge, the Soviet judge 5'6", all the way up to 5'9" from the French judge. 5'6" through 5'9", Dick.
Well, I tell you something. It just depends on where he falls in the free program. I don't think he has lost this championship by any means. And the mere fact is that it was so well known, the triple jumps that he did, that when he opened up on them and only did doubles or singles instead of it, that the judges marked him down for that.
All right, now here come the marks for artistic impression.
Yeah,
they're much better here.
They're terrific.
5'8" and 5'9" all the way across the board. 5'8" and 5'9" for Scott Hamilton, so much better there for artistic impression for Scott.
Do you hear what he said? It's tough out there. Let me tell you something. That is probably the worst position in the world, right?
I think so. It was, I don't know, the last couple days I've been starting to lose a little bit as far as balance and everything. And I didn't feel into the ice at all tonight. I just hope it was good enough to hold me where I am.
Well, I think the second set of marks was terrific, and you didn't make a mistake. You just didn't do one or two things. That's all.
Well, I made mistakes.
You did not make mistakes. I said you didn't make mistakes. You didn't make mistakes.
Well, I guess I have to be happy with what I did. It's been going so well here. I've done clean run through every single day, and I haven't missed. And tonight, just as I said, didn't feel really into the ice.
Why?
I'm not sure. I think that, as I said, that I've been training so hard and so heavy for so long that I think I was just starting to lose the edge a little bit. And I guess I've noticed it, and I've tried to cope with it, but I just didn't feel terrific.
It wasn't the lack of practice time. It was just the length of time that you were here. Am I correct?
Maybe. As I said, I just trained so intensely for this thing. I guess I just burned myself out a little bit. But I have to be happy with it. I did some good stuff, and I missed a couple jumps, and I just got to, as I said, be happy with it and see what comes out of it.
Well, your overall work has been terrific over the years. Congratulations. I know where you are.
Thanks.
Now that Scott Hamilton has indeed won the gold medal.
What a terrific moment, no?
Well, it all comes true. They started to talk about it in 1981. And the moment is now for Scott Hamilton, waving to the crowd, many Americans at the Zetra Arena, as Hamilton wins the gold medal in figure skating.
And you know, he didn't win it for just one performance, but for a body of work that's lasted over 3 years.
In second place, and what a terrific short program and long program both for Brian Orser of Canada.
What a moment for him. Energy, energy, energy. Wasn't it sensational?
And that's a surprise. Brian Orser, the Canadian flag being waved with great relish as he gets ready to accept this silver medal.
I'll bet our friends in Canada are going crazy, don't you think?
Been a great Olympics for them so far. And the Czechoslovakian skater, Joseph Sabovchik, winds up third.
Yes, putting out Rudi Turner of West Germany, who I certainly thought had a marvelous sort of style and elegance to his skating. But I think he got credit for some of those triple jumps that
they appreciated the athleticism.
Sprinkled through his program, yeah.
So he picks up the bronze. But there he is, Scott Hamilton from Bowling Green, Ohio. He's been living and training for several years now in Denver, Colorado. As we said at the top, the greatest pressure oftentimes is on the man who is expected to win. Because if he doesn't, he then, in the eyes of many, becomes a big disappointment. But Hamilton was expected to win and did indeed.
I think he may have suffered, as he said, just slightly from overtraining. A few days too many here in Sarajevo. But what matter? What matter? There it is. How nice. The first since David Jenkins won it in 1960 for an American to win it. He, of course, followed his brother Hayes Allen Jenkins in 1956. The first since 1960 for an American to win the men's gold medal. How nice.
The silver medal goes to Brian Orser of Canada. Boy, the crowd really loved him. A great short program the day before yesterday, followed up by a terrific long program tonight. He takes the silver, and this man has to be quite happy as well. Josef Sabovchik of Czechoslovakia, despite that fall at the end, he takes home the bronze. As far as the other Americans are concerned, Brian Boitano finished 5th, and interestingly, that's the same spot in which Scott Hamilton finished in 1980. Mark Cockrell winds up in 13th position.
And now the arena quiets down. Flags in the stands are lowered because another flag will be raised now on our national anthem. Climax of a day that equals America's best gold medal day in Winter Olympics history. Only in 1948 had we won 2 gold medals in a day. Dick Button in skating, Gretchen Fraser in skiing. Scott Hamilton, look at him. He had wanted to skate the performance of his life. He didn't, and his first reaction was disappointment. But as you saw when the anthem was played, he seemed to realize that he had in fact achieved his goal. He's won the gold medal. There's weariness in those eyes, isn't there? But the pride's there, too. The adopted boy who almost died of a rare disease when he was 7 is now the giant of his sport. To read his lips, said, "I can't believe it's over." I look forward to tomorrow. Women's slalom, Tamara McKinney, the World Cup champion, and Kristen Cooper, silver medalist in the giant slalom, going for the United States. We'll have 4-man bobsled competition from Krubevich. And coverage of the women's downhill, which took place today. We'll be showing it to you tomorrow night. 30 minutes from now, coverage continues. Kathleen Sullivan will have an interview with Scott Hamilton, among other features. 2020 was not seen this evening, of course, but it returns next Thursday night with the first of a series of investigative reports continuing for the next few weeks about children in America. How safe are they? That's 2020 returning next Thursday. Until tomorrow, this is Jim McKay saying so long from Sarajevo.
We were looking in the other night when we had an up-close and personal visit with Katarina Witt. Know that she is from East Germany. She has won the European Championship the last 2 years, 4th in the Worlds last year, and the leader now coming into her 4-minute long program.
This is the name of the game right here. First move, an Arabian. The next is the first triple jump combination. It'll kind of set the tone. First a split. No, triple Lutz. Triple O.
That was a double Lutz triple toe.
Triple Salchow. Again, remember, the judges will not remove any marks for that, may not add some. Double axel.
Very nice double axel.
Would there be significance in Girl Crazy?
The beauty that this girl has, this natural beauty. She has the face that where you would just die. She is gorgeous, but it's too bad that the choreography doesn't reflect that beauty that she has. It's just not well done.
Double flip, turn, double axel. That combination had originally intended to have a triple jump in it, which didn't appear.
Nice triple toe. She has skated very well.
Final scratch spin.
Nice.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Look at the smile.
You think she's done? She thinks she's done well.
Yes, I'm sure she feels that. She has.
For me, there were a number of very, very minor moments that I detected a slight kind of imbalance.
There's Rosalind Sumner, who will be next.
In my own opinion.
Well, she's very happy with it, obviously, as she skates off the ice. Before she does that, she'll retrieve some flowers. Rosalind Sumner will be the final skater of the evening. And so for the moment, right now, as Rosalind begins to warm up here, the two are on the ice simultaneously. But Vitz scores yet to be flagged.
I certainly don't feel that she gave such an electric performance or such an exciting performance that Rosalind cannot overcome it if she gives one of her own. I think the opportunity is there for Rosalind to make it if she will give an electric performance as well as making all of the jumps. There she is with Uta Muller. Remember how many champions she's coached, from Gabby Seifert, the silver medalist, to you, Peggy, the world champion
Here are the
twice.
marks for technical merit now. They're very good. The low is 5.7. The high is 5.9. The 5.9 from the Swiss judge. Every other judge with a mark of 5.8. The American judge was low. Only the judge from the United States with a 5.7.
Again, remember, it only matters where she comes in relation to Rosalind.
Came onto the world scene with a flourish, winning the world championship. Elena Velova and Oleg Vasiliev, both from Leningrad, in first place after the short program.
Side jump, small ones, double toe loops. One arm turning lift. That was nice. Good twisting turnout. Watch him lift her in a throw, salchow. A little bit of a double footing on the landing, but really very nice and straight up. That was a very conservative one and very nicely done. This is a small example of mirror skating. Side by side, double axel. Oh, she fell out of it. And double toe loops. Positions.
Vasiliev in first place after the short program. The world champions seeking a gold medal. pair on the ice will be Kitty and Peter Carruthers.
Combination for a slip. Double Salchows. They seem a little tired here at this point.
Program about ready to end.
Well, now that was very well done. I thought they started off better than they ended. They seemed a little bit down and slow towards the end. I don't know, it just didn't have the fire in it that I kind of expected.
Well, compare that now to the performance we just saw from Selezhneva and Makarov. Was this better?
I'd say, yeah, I'd give it a higher mark than Selezhneva and Makarov.
Their marks are pretty high.
Yes. I mean, well, of course, I'm comparing it against great skating, and it does not anywhere come near in the same rank with Rodnina Zaitsev or the Protopopovs.
So if Kitty and Peter can have the skate of their lives tonight,
look,
we'll find out.
Everything is laying towards a great opportunity for Kitty and Peter.
Here are the marks right now. Look at that. The Soviet judge gave them a 5.9, and then most of the others are 5.8 down to 5.7.
5.7 and 5.8. I think those marks are okay.
All right.
I don't think that their coach there with them is Tamara Moskvina, herself one of the important Russian pair champions with her husband Moskvin and Moskvina.
Look at these marks. These are going to be almost impossible to beat. 5.9, 5.9, 5.9, 5.9, a couple of 5.8s, and then two more 5.9s.
Yeah, for an artistic impression. Those are high.
Well, it's going to be very difficult to beat them. Elena Belova and Oleg Vasiliev of the Soviet Union, and up next will be Kitty and Peter Carruthers of the United States. And now the moment this crowd, this capacity crowd of the Zetra Arena has been waiting for all night long. And as the luck of the draw would have it, they are the last couple to perform. From Great Britain, Jane Torval and Christopher Dean seeking the gold medal in ice dancing.
A dance to a single composition of music, Ravel's Bolero, note particularly the opening sequence, lasting as long as 20 seconds before they even begin to skate.
progression of moves, each one different and progressing further with each step and beat of the music.
There it is. You know, really a beautiful performance. It was perhaps not difficult, perhaps no changes, perhaps nothing you can criticize it from here to zero, from here to the end of the week. But it was a beautiful, emotional experience, and that's what all that counts about this dance. Wonderful. So far, it's the first and only standing ovation we've had.
To see this live here tonight.
Oh, it's amazing. The crowd was just absolutely mesmerized during the entire performance.
Everybody has criticized it for so many weeks now and complained about it and said that it's broken the rules, and it really makes no difference whatsoever, because as good as it is, it can transcend any of those rules.
Two athletes have dominated their sport in such a way. Torvill and Dean, and the marks are coming up now for technical merit. Per usual, we've become accustomed to sixes, and there are 3 of them, and the rest are 5.9. So they received perfect marks after the original set pattern from some of the judges. All 5.9s and 6s for Torvill and Dean. There's little doubt about the gold medal. There was little doubt coming in. And still to come the marks for artistic impression, and they'll be in that same range and across the board.
All the way across. That is the first.
All perfect marks.
Oh, we are so lucky to be here to see this. This is wonderful.
All 6s across the board for Torvill and Dean. The climax to the ice dancing competition, and they are the gold medalists. James Torvill and Christopher Dean from Nottingham, England. Been skating together since 1975. The world champions, of course, now the Olympic champions. And it's the first time in Olympic history we have seen all 6s from all 9 of the judges for artistic impression.
One word. Christopher, congratulations.
Thank you.
It was really super. You should be congratulated. You and Jane both. I think it was a marvelous performance. You happy with it?
I'm exhausted.
Are you glad it's over? Thanks a million, Christopher.
We'll be back in a moment with a presentation of the medals. No doubt the gold medal won tonight by Torvill and Dean.
Also, our computers, as we mentioned, telling us that Blumberg and Siebert did not win the bronze, and we'll see if that is confirmed when we come back. Got a little different coloring situation, too. Normally, you expect the Soviet skater to be in red. Not so. That's Nick Tomets in the red of the United States, 5'9", 160, and Sergei Fokashev of the Soviet Union is in the blue. So it's a little different color arrangement than we're used to. And they get out of there cleanly, and they get out together.
It's so important in the 500 meters to get the draw of having the first inner, because that last inner is so hard to turn.
100-meter split time. Fokashev is under 10 seconds, 9.96. Oh, boy, they're opening it up at a hot pace.
Fokashev doesn't have a lot of leg speed as compared to Nick Thomas, and this inner corner may give him a little bit of problems.
See how he handles it. He's holding on to it. Now he slides wide, gets away with it. Now the sprint to the finish line. It's going to be a very good time for both skaters. It is Fokashev in front, 38.19. Tomets in second place there in the pair, 38.56. And that's the way they'll go to the scoreboard.
Here you can see Fokashev driving hard for the finish line. And the important thing is, not only does he push hard, but he pulls his leg back in quickly so that he can start the next stroke as soon as possible.
Next, Hans Sture Magnusson of Sweden is the pair with the Canadian Gaetan Boucher, who lives in Montreal. Been very good over the last year. Broke his leg in indoor skating, but he is very good on the turns because of the competition he's had in recent months indoors.
Well, Boucher is a good 1,000-meter skater. All year long, he continually has fast times, but it always seems that in the big pressure races, he really chokes and really stumbles. And we'll have to see what he can do here today, because there's a lot of pressure on him, and he's really the expected favorite in the 1,000 meters.
17.18, that's all right.
Fast 200 meters, fast 200 meters.
He took a bronze medal at the 500. Really didn't expect to get that. But you were with him now. He took a silver medal in the 1,000 at Lake Placid when he was paired with you.
Well, watch Gaetan skate the corners. He's got exceptional corners, and it's because of his indoor skating that he knows how to navigate really sharp corners, and it really helps in the 1,000 meters. Because the 1,000 meters, sometimes you're skating faster than the 500. And when you have confidence in the corners, you got a good race.
Look at that 600-meter split now. He's winding it up.
Gaetan is looking strong. He isn't dying like the other skaters, keeping his technique. And watch how he sets up this last corner, right on that snow lane, and that's so important.
The top time by Klebnikov, 1:16.63. Tomets, 1:16.85 in third place. Here's Boucher over the line, and there's the top time of the day. Somebody finally broke 16. 1:15.80 for Gaetan Boucher of Canada. And the Canadians are shouting their appreciation of his effort.
You know, Keith, that was probably the most perfect 1,000 meters I've seen skated. Boucher, under this kind of pressure, for him to do something like that is unbelievable. And here, watch this corner. This is why he's so strong. Confident, leans into that turn, full extension with both legs. And watch how he brings his arm across in front of his body so that he holds himself in right next to that snow lane. And that's an inner lane he's skating at a lot of speed. And in this finish, notice that he kept his technique, 90-degree bend in the leg, and full extension, drives hard to that finish line.
And it holds the fastest time so far. He's warming down. But when the next race starts, his soul will be churning, because Gaetan Boucher is going to take a full run at it. There are your standings. And it's almost a quiet sensation that is here at the Zetra Oval as Andreas Ehrig of East Germany comes out to skate with Gaetan Boucher. Boucher won a bronze at 500, a gold at 1,000, and feels confident. He said this morning that he can win the gold here at 1,500.
Everybody, including Klebnikov, has waited to see this race, and now Boucher is opening up strong. Ehrig has a strong opener, but you can usually count on him to die the last lap. Boucher, though, we'll have to see what he has.
The one thing that struck me during his gold medal performance at 1,000 meters was the extension through the turn. He really reached, just zipped through there so cleanly and so purely.
Boucher has the best turns I've ever seen. You got to watch this crossover here. This is going to be close. Notice, ooh, boy. It was a good crossover. Eric stayed right up against those snow lanes on the left side of the track and let Boucher come around the outside of him because Boucher had so much more speed.
The ice looks to be holding up quite well. There was some concern, what with the snow falling, that we might get into the brittle situation or crusty circumstance that we had during some of the snowstorms previously. All right, you see the split times at 700 meters, and Gaetan Boucher started faster than anybody else. He continued faster, and he is still faster.
Boucher is looking good. I think he came into this race with a lot of confidence after that 1,000-meter win. And now he's showing us right here what he has. This is going to be the hardest lap for him.
This is the beginning of the bell lap. As soon as they cross the finish line, those markers right there, they're in the final 400 meters. This is a time, I guess, when you hate it because it hurts so much.
And you can see Boucher is really struggling. He's had the fastest 1,100-meter time. We're going to have to see if he can keep it together this lap because his form is really starting to come apart.
You saw the face of the other men as they skated through that final turn. You'll get a look at Gaetan Boucher of Montreal as he comes out of the turn, and he holds it nice and tight. Very good final turn. And now the fight to get the body across the finish line and stop the clock. He's done it. He did it. 1:58.36.
Gaetan came into this race with a lot of confidence, but I think he doubted whether he could actually win a gold medal. And boy, you can bet he is a happy man right now. Huh.
By 0.47 seconds. That's all.
Boucher skates corners so well, and here you can see him right up against that snow lane, and it's so important to concentrate on what you're doing going around this last corner because one slip, and you're almost too tired to recover. Comes out of the corner, stays right up against that snow lane, and now he's got to sit back, try to maintain his technique, not anticipate that crossing the line, and skate right on past it, because you think about crossing it, and you start going up on your toes, and it only slows you down.
The first pairing of the day on the ice right now. Thomas Gustafsson of Sweden, 24 years old, and the veteran Hilbert van der Doom of Holland. They have 4 laps to go here in this 5,000-meter race. There is the split time, and Gustafsson, who's been staying with van der Doom, letting him set the pace, and there's the Olympic record, is now starting to pull away ever so slightly as we near the end of this grueling test.
With 4 to go, the skaters are on about a 7:12 pace. In 1980, when I quit skating, Gustafsson, he had the ability to be a good long-distance skater, but he just didn't have the right mental attitude. And within those last 4 years, he's really matured, and he knows what he's doing.
Well, he may know what he's doing thanks to the man you just heard from, Eric Heiden, who took him under his wing and helped Thomas considerably.
Well, in '79, I decided to go over to the United States to see what the American kids were doing because Eric was, like, he was world champion, and I thought, you know, my chance to improve in speed skating was to see how the world champion was doing, because back home we didn't have that influence. So I went over there and I learned a lot that year.
In 1980, he finished 12th to Eric Heiden in the Olympic Games, and now the coaching, the assistance, and the friendship of Heiden has maybe spurred him on to a pretty good-looking performance here with just 800 meters to go. As Eric said, he's on time around 7:12, 7:13, and looks to be getting stronger, Eric, as the race continues.
Well, Gustafsson, it looks like he's paced his race very well. I think van der Doom maybe started out a little too hard and really wasn't skating his own race, but trying to follow Gustafsson.
Van der Doom, the veteran from the Netherlands who competed in 1980 as well, is 26 years of age. But Gustafsson is the man to watch right now representing Sweden. He got a tremendous build-up, was expected to go in the 5,000, perhaps the 10,000. How he does here today may dictate what happens in the 10,000. With a lap to go, he's right on target now to post a very impressive time for the rest of this field to chase after.
Well, with 1 lap to go, notice Gustafsson now and Hilbert van der Doom behind him are continuing down the straightaway with one arm down. That's to keep their tempo so that they can finish tough.
Van der Doom has been known to wilt under pressure in the past, and there certainly has been pressure here on the closing couple of laps from Thomas Gustafsson of Sweden as he turns it on now, looking for the best possible time. He will not get the Olympic record, but he will certainly set a high standard for the day of 7 minutes, 12.28 seconds for the rest of the field to catch here in the 5,000 meters, and here's how he brought it home.
Both Gustafson and Vanderduim are continuing that last lap with one arm down. It's kind of hard starting out the first pair because no one knows what the ice conditions are like, and now Gustafson and Vanderduim just have to sit and wait and let all the other skaters shoot for their time. And here Tomas finishing really strong. He doesn't fade, and that's the mark of a good long-distance skater.
We can't say yet where he'll finish today, but I can guarantee it won't be 12th, where he was 4 years ago behind Eric Heiden in this event in Lake Placid, New York. So a great performance there by Tomas Gustafson of Sweden. He has set the standard for others to follow on the snowy oval in Sarajevo. We'll be back. 19-year-old Igor Malkov of the Soviet Union. He is in pursuit of the time posted by Tomas Gustafson of Sweden with 4 laps to go. He's been running consistently behind Gustafson's pace. He was 2.45 seconds slower with 6 laps to go, but he's gaining now. Here's the comparison between the two. On the ice with Malkov is Bjorn Nyland of Norway. He is not a factor in this event. It is strictly a Malkov-Gustafson duel, with Malkov on the ice and Gustafson in the clubhouse.
Well, Malkov was 5 seconds behind Gustafson with 12 laps to go, and right now he's skating low 35-second laps. Tomas was skating high 35-second laps, and it's those tenths of a second that can kill you. And here Malkov is slowly coming on after Gustafson.
Now with just 3 laps to go, there is the comparison. He's still behind the pace of Gustafson, but the interesting thing is he seems to be gaining in these closing laps, whereas Malkov tired badly in the finishing stages of the 5,000. He is racing a very strong 10,000 and appears to have plenty left.
Boy, what a psychological boost. Malkov is slowly coming on, and you can bet his coaches are telling him just where he stands with Gustafson. Remember, in the shorter distances, when a skater has a lot of speed going into the corners, he sets it up wide so that he can stick next to that snow lane. But in the longer events, you don't have that speed. So what you try to do is stick the left foot through the snow lane. Malkov doesn't do it there, but you stick the left foot through the snow lane, and it sets you up right against that snow lane so that you don't lose any time.
And incredibly, with less than 2 laps to go now, he is just 0.66 slower than Gustafson was. And the question is, can he make up the rest of the time to finish ahead of him?
Well, he's continually skating laps that are just a few tenths of a second faster than Gustafson. But what he's got to remember to do when he hears that bell is not to tighten up. A lot of times you hear that bell and all of a sudden your legs tighten up and oh boy, does it hurt.
We just did hear that bell. Here is the pivotal final lap for Malkov of the Soviet Union, this 19-year-old student from Alma-Ata, giving it all he has, and it looks like he certainly has plenty left. He had just 0.12 to make up. He's got a run on Tomas Gustafson's pace-setting time in the final lap here at Zetra. An incredible performance by Malkov. Malkov finding that reserve of energy, effortlessly gliding around this oval. And now we'll turn it on for the stretch, give it all he has to bring it home. Malkov pounding down. Every split second counts. There's the time he has to beat, 14:39.95. Watch the time on the bottom as Malkov has done it for 5/100ths of a second over a distance of 10,000 meters.
Tough race. Malkov really finished strong. On that backstretch, you could see the Russians with their arms out there telling him to go for it with everything he had.
He is a tired man, but a happy man, and he made it all up in the closing half-dozen laps on Tomas Gustafson.
Well, this is where Gustafson really fell apart, and it cost him. Malkov maintains his technique and really finishes strong. I couldn't believe it. He shows a lot of character for a young skater, only 19 years old. Generally, the good endurance skaters are in their late 20s, mid-20s.
And here is what he had to beat. Here's what he did on the bottom. And unlike Gustafson, who appeared to let up at the finish line, this man drove in there and beat him by 5/100ths of a second and gets a big Russian bear hug from his coach over on the far side of the Zetra skating oval.
Sky for almost 20 hours, accumulating heavily. But still, there are spectators to watch the women's 500 meters as Krista Rothenberger of East Germany, the world record holder, stands in against Marzia Peretti of Italy. Peretti only 18 years of age, a student from Torino. Rothenberger is now 24 years of age. Lake Placid 1980, she was 12th in this event. Normally, Rothenberger gets out of those blocks very swiftly, and we'll be particularly interested in what her 100-meter time is. She's really digging hard. The young woman from Italy hanging in there pretty well, but now Rothenberger coming off the turn has a clear lead and a very fast 100 meters.
That's the fastest 100 meters today, and the key to a good start is to concentrate on what your arms are going to do and not listen for that gun.
Remember now, the time to beat is 41.50, and that was posted by Natalia Shiva of the Soviet Union. Krista Rothenberger holds the world record set at the Madeo track in the Soviet Union. She's driving for the finish line, and 41.02. That's your fastest time. 41.02 for Krista Rothenberger of East Germany.
It's important to stay as close to those snow lanes as possible because that's the shortest distance to the finish line. And here Rothenberger sets up that last outer perfectly by straddling that snow lane right there, and then she dives into that last outer.
Through the days leading up to the actual competition, there were some people who were talking about having to break 41 under good weather conditions to win a medal. I think the inclement weather is going to keep them out of the 40s, but 41.02 under these conditions is certainly impressive for Krista Rothenberger. Krista right here, pretty happy. Now it is time. It's called put-up time as Karen Enke steps in against Sigrid Schmude from West Germany. 1,000 meters, trying for her second gold. She has a gold and silver in hand. She won the 1,500. She was second at 500.
I don't think Karen's going to have as fast an opener as Rothenberger, but you can bet her last lap she's not going to die. She's going to put it to it.
Well, you may be wrong because she is burning it. She's really on it and going very well, and she is ahead of Rothenberger's 200-meter split, Eric.
Well, a good fast 200, and you can bet that Karen Enke, who's also a good 1,500-meter and 3,000-meter skater, is not going to die in that last lap.
The emotions in a short race have to be so fragile that I would think you would spend more time at getting yourself emotionally ready, perhaps, than anything else. And I think we saw that reflecting from her as she warmed up this morning. Look at your 600-meter time. That's the fastest of the day.
She's got a lot of pressure on her, a lot of East Germans here cheering her on. It's going to be important that on this last inner, she sits back and concentrates on that turn because that last inner is sometimes pretty hard to hold.
The time to beat. Schörner's 1:22.83. Both the East German women who skated earlier broke the Olympic record held by Petrasheva at Lake Placid, and here it is. She's done it. 1:21.61. Enke posts the fastest time so far and breaks the Olympic record for the third time today.
Enke swings a little wide coming out of that corner, brings both arms down, and drives home really powerfully. Comes up a little bit high, but that's because she's tired.
The world knows that Eric Heiden won 5 gold medals in 1980 at Lake Placid. That young woman on the left, Karen Enke, East Germany, trying to win 4 gold medals in 1984. The women only race 4 times. Her pair, Annette Carlin, Stockholm, Sweden. Watch the power of Karen Enke of East Germany as she thunders off the line. She drives it all the way into the turn and through the turn before she really sets up her gliding stride, Eric.
Well, Karen Enke knows how important the first 300 meters is. You can see both arms down until she hit that home stretch. Now she's starting to settle back, and she's going to relax this next lap, pushing hard the entire time, but holding back a little bit because at 1,500 meters is a race where you can't sprint the entire time.
26.35 for 300 meters. That's far and away the fastest so far of the day. December of last year, Karen Enke turned in a 2-minute 0.340 second time for 1,500. That is the fastest ever, but it has not been certified as yet, at least, as a world record.
Like Schöne, Enke's arm, again, is off her back, and that's a wasted effort. She should have it sitting on a smaller back and be relaxed. She tightens up, and that's nothing. That's what you do not want in 1,500 meters.
At 700 meters, she is quite a bit faster than anybody else today at 57.10. The time to beat, posted by Anders Schörne of East Germany, 2 minutes, 5.29. 2:05.29, the best time so far. That's the gold medal time.
She's tentatively on a 2:03 schedule, which Petrasheva and Schöne have been on. We'll have to see whether she can hold it through the 1,100 meters in the last lap.
Enke, the 1984 all-around champion at the Worlds. Look at that 1,100-meter time. Far and away the fastest so far today.
Well, right now that puts her on a 2:02, which is way below the world record.
Can she maintain the pace? Can she hold her form? 2:05.29, Andrea Scherner's earlier new Olympic record, the time to beat the world record, 2:04.04, held by Natalia Petroshova. She's closing in on it. She's got it. She nailed it with the strongest finish we have seen all day. New world record, 1,500 meters, 2:03.42.
A sterling performance by Enka. Everybody knew that the ice was fast, but I don't think anybody thought it was this fast. And despite Enka's flaw in her having her left arm dangle off to the side as she does, she shows what kind of strength she has. Here, a little bit tired, starting to come up a little bit, and upper body bobbling, but she just powers her way into a new world record in the 1,500 meters.
2:03.42. Listen to this. That's 7.5 seconds under the old Olympic record.
And now ahead of Bill Johnson, nearly 2 miles to turn it loose, go for the gold. Bob, he's just been absolutely sensational in training. He had that big win in Wengen, the Lauberhorn. The Europeans really didn't like it, particularly the Austrians. They criticized him. They called him names. He stood up under it all. He's just an amazing youngster.
Well, Frank, they may not like it very much, but the facts of life are that here he is standing in the starting gate of the Olympic downhill as the favorite, and he's only been on the World Cup circuit 1 full year with 1 victory. And the reason, just as you said, he's been that great in training.
Also interesting, Bob, he was at the top of another Olympic downhill, Lake Placid, 1980. Bill Johnson was a forerunner.
And the thing that's good about this downhill form is that it's relatively flat. It favors a glider like Johnson. We can see him here on this very important turn up at the top where he sets his hip in. He glides very well. He's got to be careful on the top not to lose any time in the turns. That's the key for him. Down at the bottom, he'll really be rolling.
Come on, Billy boy.
You see him set that hip just in there on that traverse.
For this youngster has already given us an American first, a World Cup downhill victory in Wengen. It could be another, an Olympic medal. No American has ever finished higher than 5th in the Olympic downhill. Bill Beck did it in 52, Pete Patterson in 1980.
Frank, he looked very good on the top part. You still have to remember that Zurbriggen was outstanding on the bottom, though. Look at him, trying to stay in that tuck all the way down. As soon as he gets out of a turn, you're going to see him get right back into it.
That's Zurbriggen's time on the left.
We're going to know right here how he was on the top part. Oh,
he's close.
2/10 of a second behind. That's what he has to make up. Zurbriggen was good on the bottom, though.
Johnson has always been good on the bottom, though, Bob. He can make it up.
Okay, this is going to be very close. Zurbriggen fired a good one at him. But this is where he is great, as you said.
Down through the flats and heading towards the first big bump. Beautiful!
Right back into his tuck, Frank, and now here's where he's really fast. He has a very fast pair of skis, and he knows how to ride them.
Again! Zurbriggen's time will come up on the left. Billy Johnson into the tuck.
It's going to be very, very close down here, Frank.
And he do it! Yes, he has!
He's got it!
Johnson has taken the lead from Zurbriggen. We knew that Zurbriggen had a great run. Now Billy Johnson has come down the mountain. He was a little bit behind at the top. He made it up on the bottom. What a great run for Bill Johnson.
And that one's going to be tough to beat. That one is really going to be tough to beat.
Oh, I'll tell you, the youngster has been cocky, he's been calm, he's been cool, and he has backed it all up right here. Look at the flag wave, Bob.
Well, I'll tell you, he gave me a scare up the top.
Alpine director Bill Moreau congratulating Bill Johnson, but it's far from over. In Olympic downhill history, but a gold medalist, and there he is. Other racers are going to come down the mountain, but the gold here at Bilashnica is history. Billy Johnson, an unlikely winner, and not a terribly popular winner.
As they came out for the award ceremonies at the plaza in front of the press center for the downhill race, Bill Johnson still looked calm, cool, and collected. It may take a while for it to sink in that he's done something that no American has done before him, that he's come to Europe unheralded, almost unknown, a Yank with an anonymous-sounding name who was ridiculed by the Austrians rather than praised when he won a World Cup race in January. It was appropriate at the ceremony the Swiss and an Austrian would stand on the steps below Bill. Peter Mueller of Switzerland, the silver medalist, and Anton Steiner of Austria, the bronze. Bill Johnson had also ended a 10-year domination of World Olympic downhills by the Austrians. His name will now appear on the plaques with Tony Seiler, Jean-Claude Keely, and Franz Kammer. He was cool from the moment he arrived here until this moment. But watch as the anthem is played, how the cool cat is gradually transformed. Watch Bill Johnson's eyes, and watch for the hard swallow. Was it then, the first American male victory on skis in Winter Olympics history. Bill Johnson flies west at dawn to a waiting welcome in San Diego and another ski race, the U.S. Nationals, on Sunday. The judge who sent him to ski camp instead of jail must feel confirmed in his judgment tonight. The Bill Johnson who comes home is different from the one who left. The unknown racer is now a national hero. In a minute, we'll return to the men's figure skating final at Zetra Arena.
The hill. This is Max Hewlin, the leader after the first run. He had a 1/10 of a second edge over Andreas Benzel. Andreas Benzel has moved into second place. Yuri Franco is the leader. And another, the Austrian, Franz Gruber, is in third place. And here comes Max Hewlin.
And this is the one man that can knock Franco out of a gold medal, Frank. Nobody thought, I think, maybe a medal for Yuri Franco, but never a gold medal. Hewlin is the one. They call him the Iceman. The reason he lives in Zermatt, Switzerland. He trains on the glacier year-round above Zermatt. Great on the ice. This course is perfect for him.
His best finish thus far, a 7th in the Giant Slalom this year, but we know that he's good 5 times. He was second a year ago. And meanwhile, at the bottom of the hill, Yuri Franco is looking on. This man could prevent him possibly from a gold medal, and this is Max Hewlin, the leader after the first run.
Well, Yuri Franco has got his medal. You can be sure of that. The question is, will he get a gold medal? That looks like he might be in a great spot.
That's Gruber's time up on the top, and Hewlin was behind that.
Okay. Hewlin is outstanding on the steep, though. He's very good on hard, steep terrain, as we've said. This is where he should really shine. It's going to be very close down through here, Frank. I really think it's going to boil down to between Hewlin and Franco.
To the final gates. Max Hewlin hitting it. He's all over the mountain now, banging on the gate.
He's skiing very well down through here.
He knows exactly what he has to do. Through the final gate, the steep part of the course. Here comes Max Hewlin. The Yugoslavian crowd cheering, but they're basically holding their breath.
He's got the best time.
First place, Max Hewlin, with a great effort on the lower part of the hill, is the leader. And the crowd stunned just for a moment. Max Hewlin is the leader at the moment, and he could have skied himself into a gold medal.
Well, Max Hewlin, Frank, as I've said, is great on ice, and he also is a very tough competitor. And by his results, we know he's a good giant slalom skier. He was just great on the bottom part of that course. He just hit every turn about as well as you can hit him.
Great sportsmanship there. You see it so much in the Olympics. It was Franco moving over and congratulating Hewlin on a tremendous run.
Well, Yuri Franco is a real gentleman. He's a sensational person. He's got a lot to be proud of.
He's still smiling, but his goal just went to silver, I believe, Bob. And now up at the top of the hill, Phil Mayer, his last Olympics. He was in third place after the first run. He was 7/10 of a second behind his twin brother. He's 4 minutes older. And nevertheless, this is his last opportunity for another medal. A silver medalist at Lake Placid behind the great Ingemar Stenmark. 3 times the overall World Cup champion. The first American male to ever do that. The first American ever to win an overall competition. A great competitor, Bob. He's on the course.
Okay, Frank, he's got to really concentrate, ski technically well. He's a great athlete and a good competitor. Not very happy with the results this year. This would be a great way to end all the people who are saying he's finished.
Good rhythm on the top.
Oh, he got his hand behind a little bit. He's got to plant that pole every turn. It's very quick down through here.
Running time is on the right. The best intermediate time, of course, is that of Bouvet, the Frenchman. That's on the left, and Phil Mayer has beaten that.
Okay, he's okay up through here. He's skiing very well. He's got to make sure he's on every turn. Concentration is the key for him. He's got to be aggressive, though, too, and that's what makes it so hard on a steep hill. You can't get too defensive.
Years in training, 10 years on the World Cup circuit. This will be the final.
He's having a good run, Frank. He's going to be good down through here.
Take the lead is on the left from Bouvier, and he
Frank
got first place. Phil Mayer into first place, and still to come his brother Steve. Many faith in the giant slalom did Phil Mayer. Disappointed there, but he is in great position. Quickly, he grabs the walkie-talkie. He's going to talk to Steve Mayer, who will have one racer before he comes down, telling him about the gates, talking with Steve up at the top. There's Steve.
There's Steve getting the word.
He says.
Well, it takes a lot of pressure off Steve, I'll tell you that.
And Steve, with a great recovery, saved his silver. A fantastic tribute to the inner strength of these two young men. And we'll be back, and we'll talk with them both in just a moment.
We're going to be seeing the impressive closing ceremonies here, but earlier tonight, another great ceremony took place. They've been together since before they were born, and now they would be side by side on the victory stand in Sarajevo. Phil Mayer, winner of the gold medal in men's slalom. Steve Mayer, silver medalist in the same event. It's really a story that no novelist would dare to write. Phil has almost always been slightly ahead of Steve. He was born 4 minutes earlier, and today finished 21 1/100ths of a second before his brother, and here he was, about to receive the gold medal. On the World Cup circuit, neither had really been skiing his best so far this winter. Steve had the better results, but Phil here, the World Cup champion, just recently managed to take even a 4th place. Now with one last passing snow shower falling on the Scandaria Press Center area, they were receiving their medals and shortly would hear our national anthem.
Médaille d'argent.
Silver medal, Steve Mayer, Sjedinjene Američke Države.
There it was. These 6 o'clock medal ceremonies have become something like the cocktail hour back home. Every night at 6, we have the awards. But for Americans, this one was different. This one ended the Olympics on the highest possible note for the United States. Also served notice that the Americans, after 2 decades of trying, have finally really arrived on the world skiing scene.
Bronze medal, Didier Bouvet, Francuska. France.
And the bronze medal for France, bringing back memories of Jean-Claude Killy and the great days of French ski racing in the middle and late 1960s. But for America, what a week this has been. Remember, up until this week, no American man had ever won a gold medal on skis, not in any kind of skiing event. Then came Bill Johnson, and now comes Phil Mayer, and right behind him, his brother Steve. The ceremonial flowers being brought to the 3 medalists at Scandaria. Very light snowfall. It didn't last very long, but it kind of dressed up the ceremony. And then the moment had come for the playing of the anthem. something to have a gold medal and a new baby. Well, less than an hour before the first run this morning, his wife had her baby in Arizona. Phil heard the news from Donna de Verona.
She may ultimately become a great giant slalom skier, but for now, this is her best event. Here she comes, 17-year-old Michaela Figini of Switzerland. Surely she must have in the back of her mind the disappointment of what happened to her yesterday. She must wipe that out now and ski the course aggressively.
She looks very good. She glided well on top. She looks hungry out of the start. Let's see how she makes these turns. Now, she can stand on her ski, take a big curve like you'll have here, and carry the speed all the way down. She has to be aggressive in this section. Yeah, she's doing it quite well. Looks calm. Let's see.
Watch for the intermediate time as she approaches the midpoint of the course. It will give you an indication of how she stands in relation to the leader who has gone down before her, Austria's Elizabeth Kirsler. The time on the right belongs to Figini. Kirsler's intermediate time on the left.
She looks good. She made that turn quite well, and yes, she's got the fastest intermediate time.
By more than half a second. Here she comes, Figini of Switzerland.
She looks like she's out to get them today. Let's see now. She's going to come down over these bumps. She had problems in the bumps on training. If she can keep her body compact, then she might be down for a very good run.
Consistently the best in training here. The best yesterday. Only 17 years old as she goes for an Olympic gold medal. And Figini has taken the lead by more than a second. A fantastic run for Michaela Figini.
That's great that she held on to her concentration and her drive. She really wanted to race today. Now she has to sit there and wait again.
And now into the start house is Debbie Armstrong. That's John Atkins over her left shoulder. He just told her to place her poles. And Debbie Armstrong is on the course, 20 years old. She's going for a medal, Bob. She had a tremendous run in the first run. She has a great opportunity.
Well, the one thing that not only John Atkins, but her giant slalom coach, John McMurtry, has told her, don't forget how you got there in the first one. Keep attacking. Don't back off right now. That's the problem when you have no experience. But I'll tell you, it looks like she is attacking. She almost got caught up with the pole right there.
Look at her hammer those gates. She's not choking one bit, Bob, this youngster from Seattle. That's her running time at the top of the course on the right. You'll see that as Milan. She had a sensational top part of the course in Milan, and running time of Debbie Armstrong will be able to compare it. And not bad at all. She is not as fast as Milan, but keep in mind, she had over 2/3 of a second edge on Milan going into this.
Well, Frank, she's coming down here pretty well right now. She keeps moving out. She is attacking. That's the key. Listen to her groaning and really trying to get a lot out of every turn. She really is going after it. That's what I like to see.
A few more gates and possibly a medal, and possibly a gold. Her running time on the right. You'll see the time she must beat to take the lead on the left.
She's going to be right in there, Frank.
Debbie Armstrong through the last gate, into the tuck. She's in first place. She's in first place. She almost for sure is going to get a medal. Look at Debbie Armstrong.
What a run.
Oh, what a run. 20 years old. It's hard to believe her second year on the U.S. ski team. Oh, is she happy. Oh, look at her. And you better believe that her mother and father, both of them were ski instructors, have got to be so proud of this youngster. All the months and the years of preparing for just a little over a 1-minute run here on Yahoo Arena.
The medal award. Debbie Armstrong, whose smiling, head-shaking disbelief hadn't stopped since the race ended hours before. The most valuable player in girls soccer and volleyball at Garfield High School in Seattle, now is a world figure in sports, an Olympic gold medalist, the first American woman to win the gold in giant slalom since Andy Lawrence did it in Oslo 32 years ago, and she loved every minute of it. Never before have American women finished 1-2 in an Olympic alpine event, but it happened today, and now it was Kristen Cooper's turn.
Sjedinjene Američke Države.
Kristen's comeback from last year's broken leg for the silver is very reminiscent, really, of Phil Mayer doing the same thing at Lake Placid 4 years ago. Kristen Cooper, Los Angeles-born, Sun Valley resident. One medal remained to be given.
Médaille de bronze
Bronze medal, Perrine Pelon, Francuska.
Karine Pelon receiving her second straight bronze medal in the Olympics. 4 years ago, she missed the silver by 29 100ths of a second. This time she trailed Kristen by only 2 100ths. And if you still wonder what the gold meant to Debbie, watch her as our national anthem is played. We talked with the principal of Garfield High in Seattle tonight, and he told us that when Debbie comes home, the entire student body will be there to meet her at the airport with brass bands and lots of roses. The last race she won was called the Elbert Bank Race Series at Copper Mountain, Colorado in 1982. Now an Olympic gold medal for her, a silver for Kristen Cooper. The Americans have announced their presence in Sarajevo. A look towards tomorrow.
And we have the first racer in the start house. And just as in the giant slalom, they reverse the order, the top 5 finishers, and you're looking at Pauletta Magoni. She actually tied with Perrine Pelon of France, but she has the lowest starting number, so she'll be on the course first. Here she is, Bob.
Well, she's going to give it a pretty good run. I don't know, Frank. There are about 14 to 15,000 people here. I don't know what they're looking at, though. You can hardly see anything. The fog seems to be even worse than it was in the first run.
Magoni of Italy was 14 100ths of a second out of first place, and of course there are 5 racers within that 14 hundredths of a second span.
What you really have here, Frank, is nearly a tie for first place. Any of these top 5 girls can win, so they're really going to have to attack.
You're looking at 20-year-old Pauletta Magoni of Italy. Her best finish thus far this year is 6th place finish. That's her running time. We haven't even picked her up yet. You can barely discern the finish line there.
That's ridiculous, Frank. You can't see. She went through the finish and we didn't even see her.
Didn't even see her come through. But, you know, we talked to Cindy Nelson, the U.S. ski team. She said the girls weren't terribly concerned about the course. The fog wasn't all that bad, she said. At least she had talked with Kristen Cooper and Tamara McKinney, who disqualified. They said the course was in good shape and the fog and the visibility was not bothering them.
The story of this slalom were 2 unknowns.
Bob, she doesn't know yet. She doesn't know yet.
What's happening. I think she just got the word.
There it is. Oh, and up go the skis.
And who congratulate her first? But Pauline of France. Always a great sport.
This is what it's all about. It really is. Not one of the great days for the U.S. with Tamara McKinney and Kristen Cooper disqualifying in the first run, but this is really the Olympics. An almost unknown, pixie-like 19-year-old Italian who has never won a major ski race or even come close, standing at the finish line sobbing tears of joy. And for the Italians, who are part of the throng at the finish line, they are also caught up in the emotion of a magical moment. For little Pauletta Magoni, you've got to love it. She takes the gold, Perrine Pelon of France the silver, her second medal. She was bronze in the GS. And Ursula Consett of Liechtenstein, she takes the bronze in the slalom.
And so Pauletta Magoni, the 19-year-old daughter of a bricklayer from the little village of Salvino, Italy, had won the gold medal. Her dad couldn't afford to come here at first, but her grandmother treated him to the trip. It sure was worth it.
So the pressure is mounting for the final heat. Wolfgang Huppe is our leader. Remember, unheralded coming into the games, the youngest of the East German drivers, having a tremendous Olympic performance. 51.06 was his time. After the third heat, his brakeman Dietmar Schomerhauer, a former 100-meter sprinter. They know they have to have a good run as they come down this hill. Treacherous with snow. It snowed for 3 straight days. The East Germans and Soviets at the top of the leaderboard.
Well, the expression is in sports, when somebody's hot, they're hot. He's hot. He's got a great start time, a great through lines through 5, 6, and 7. Let's watch for a split time here out of 7th. See if he's on his game. There's his split time. He's on his game again, Timmy. No doubt this guy is hot, is the expression.
Through Omega with 576 meters to go, down into the toughest part of this course.
He's perfect at the fastest part of the course. He puts that foot any place he wants. Let's watch him in the finish.
The final curve, the whip around. He bends for aerodynamics. His time, 51.06, the same as his 3rd heat time, puts him in 1st place.
Unbelievable consistency to come down this treacherous course in 2 exact same times.
That also puts the pressure on the other drivers. They have yet to come down this hill.
This is Holpe at curve 9. He's low. This gives him the chance to put his sled exactly where he wants, sets himself up for the crucial part of the course, which is the labyrinth. Comes off low, sets himself up coming into the take-on. Right here, he's on the corner exactly where he wants to be. Now he's all set for the crucial part of the course. Typical East German consistency.
Wolfgang Hoppe, the East German who wasn't even sent to the European Championships here at Trubevich last winter, continues his assault for the Sarajevo gold, knowing that he's pretty well locked up a medal. Now he wants the top prize. Wolfgang Hoppe, big, strong, 26-year-old. Roland Vetzik is number 2 man. He, too, is a discus champion. Dietmar Schauerhammer belongs to the Motor Club in Jena, 6'2", 200 pounds, and Andreas Kirchner, the brakeman, 6'3", 220 pounds. John, they are all good-sized athletes.
Good size, big, fast, well-conditioned, and part of the sports military operation that East Germany runs for other athletes. Their start times speak for themselves.
Hoppe came out of nowhere. You have to wonder how many other Wolfgang Hoppes there are in the program in East Germany.
I consider him the 2nd generation East Germany. The Lehman is part of that 1st generation of East German riders and drivers that started in '76. And I agree with you. There's probably 2 or 3 more Hopes that they're just grooming back there.
Wolfgang Hoppe, his Army job involves building heavy machinery, and he loves working with this machine.
Start time on the left is the Italian 2 sled, 6:32. That's just like his 1st heat.
Again, an outstanding start for Wolfgang Hoppe. His assault on the goal as he comes down. The last trip on this frosty road at Mount Trubevich.
He had 4 great runs in the 2-man. He's had 3 great runs in the 4-man with no mistakes. That's like somebody in baseball going up there being 7 for 7.
He has been the king of the hill all week. Now he's just trying to alleviate any mistakes.
Comes out of the, watch his split time on the left, 32.90, 32.45.
32.45 as he comes down the Omega. He'll shoot out of that, go through turn 9, and all they have left is the labyrinth.
He's got a better heat going than his 1st heat here. What consistency this East German. Unbelievable.
Shoots through the labyrinth. The final whip, through and down with a time of 50.21. Again, it solidifies his 1st place standing.
His last 3 heats have been 50.18, 50.18, 50.21. That's consistency.
Now, Wolfgang Hoppe, East Germany 1, just has to hold on to win the gold.
Theory in bobsledding is the fastest distance between 2 points is a straight low line. Watch this East German sled driven by Hoppe. Up high now, but watch him dive out lower than anybody else's marks. And that's why the East Germans are leading these competitions.
This is Paul Hillgartner now. Jeff, a major development. They chose to sweep the track just now, as they did before Valerie Dudan's run. So this is good news for Paul Hillgartner. Very good news.
Very good news, and it just might be this gold medal is his destiny. We saw the difference it made for Duden to have the clean sweep. He moved into 1st place. Hillgartner's got the fastest track possible today, and I think he'll be able to do it.
Okay, you better believe that the people from Hillgartner's small hometown of Kainz in the Sud-Tyrol region of northern Italy will be following this every heartbeat of the way. Incredible excitement here. A man who's devoted his life to the sport of luge, now with the dream within possibility, has made Jeff what seemed to me to be a bad start.
It wasn't very strong. It looks like he caught the right wall, but Paul can make that up. He's so fast on the bottom part of the track. I think he'll come through without any problem, but let's hang on.
Right, the time he needs to beat is Valerie Dudan's time. We'll see the split coming up in a couple of seconds. There's what he needs to beat, and no, he's a little slow. This is bad, but he does have a cushion because of the fast times coming into this.
He's got to hang on. He looks very smooth right now. He had a half-second lead going into this thing. Hang on, Paul. That's all I can say. Hang on. The gold medal's yours.
I know you're rooting for him, Jeff. He's married. He has a son. He probably will retire after this race.
He's got it. He's got it, Sam. He's got it.
All right.
He's got it.
He's flying. He made up for that bad start. He's taken the lead. Oh, Hill-Gardner. This could be the dream of a lifetime fulfilled. Paul Hill-Gardner. Jeff, I know you were pulling for him. He seems delighted.
Fastest run of the day, Sam. He rose to the occasion. What an effort. The gold medal for Paul Hildegardner for sure, and he's got to be happy. There he goes, up on the shoulders.
That's just... So that's it for now from Mount Trebevich, where a man has had his dream come true today, and where the members of the American team have shown considerable toughness and promise in a sport still so little known in our country. This is Sam Posey for Jeff Tucker and myself. So long, and good sledding. This is Steffi Martin in the ladies' start house. She is about to make her run. You see her head moving there. That's as she concentrates, imagines the course ahead of her. And she has her work cut out for her, Jeff. Not only is it snowing very, very heavily, much more heavily than it was for her two teammates, but she has to go very fast. Bettina Schmidt set a very fast time moments ago.
She did. Steffi's got to get a 41.8, which is going to have a very quick run considering the snow that's coming down. Of course, Sam, they ride on solid ice about 3 inches thick, just like a hockey rink. And when the snow comes down, it slows the sleds right down. Let's hope she has a fair track and she can do it.
Well, this is a major development because Steffi Martin, up until now, has seemed to have an absolute lock on the gold here. She's been fastest every single day, and suddenly that is in peril. Now watch the split time. You see, no, she's slower on the upper part. Jeff, that is already 3/100ths of a second. She may be starting to be in trouble here.
This could be an upset. Let's hope she hangs on. You see the snow coming down. It's just a big disadvantage for her.
All right, she's in the last turn, and we're about to see. She does it by the narrowest of margins. Incredible. Steffi Martin pulling out a run on a course where you could barely see. You see the snow coming down there. That is class.
Fastest run of the day in a heavy snowstorm. That's gold medal performance right there, Sam. She earned every bit of it.
That is something that she really earned, Jeff. I mean, just when it seemed as if these East Germans were just acting almost like machines out here, that nothing could ever upset them or anything, Steffi Martin faced suddenly with a change in the weather and came through with a brilliant run.
Reflecting from the face of Jens Weisflog of East Germany. He is looking at the possibility of a gold medal if he can hit a big jump. He's looking at the flag held by the official at the end of the in-run. The wind gusting quite brisk. He's on his way.
And it's extremely important that he gets another good jump to catch Nuukkonen. He's well over the skis, a nice landing. It's a good jump all the way around.
87 meters, style points tacked onto it. 215.2 points for Jens Weisflog of East Germany. Something for Mr. Nuukkonen to think about. Another look at it.
Projected himself into the air, quickly got over the skis, maintained his air velocity, a beautiful curve right here, and goes into a nice telemark landing.
And he has provided a cauldron of pressure for Matti Nuukkonen.
Now, Nuukkonen standing at the top. Matti needs 94.7 points in this jump to win the gold medal. In his first jump, he set a new hill record here at Malopolye, 116 meters. Let's watch him.
He exploded off the takeoff. It's another beautiful jump. A little short of his previous one, but it's almost in the red zone.
And it's good enough for a gold medal, I can tell you that right now. 111 meters. Can you imagine the two jumps? 116 meters for a hill record. 111 meters to back it up. 231.2 points. And the gold medal at 90 meters goes to Matti Nuukkonen of Finland.
It's his first win this year, and what a time to do it.
see Nukin express himself so openly and publicly like that very often. But Monty Poulet, his coach, and the members of his team all rush to congratulate him. It is a tremendous effort. 116, 119.1, backed up by 111 meters, totaling 231.2 points for Matti Nukkinen. So your final results at 90 meters. Matti Nukkinen gets the gold medal, the Finn. Jens Weissflog, the East German, the silver. Pavel Plotz, Czechoslovakia, he takes the bronze. And Jeff Hastings, so close, 1.7 points behind third place. He finishes fourth.
Gunde Svan of Sweden was out on the course and within striking distance of Curvis Niemi.
Go, Danny! Go, 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 go! Hump it, buddy! Hump it! Let's go, Danny!
And that's Coach Mike Gallagher of the United States encouraging Dan Semino on.
That's a good race for Dan. It's a good race. Top 20.
This is Aki Karvonen of Finland coming down the stretch. He finished 39th in the 15-kilometer over the same course last year, but today his race was much better. He posted a faster time than his teammate Curvis Niemi and went into the lead. Gunde Svan of Sweden still had a chance to beat Karvonen. He went all out on those stout legs of his. The current leader in the World Cup put all he had into the last few meters, swept over the finish line, less than 10 seconds ahead of Karvonen's time. He was congratulated by America's Dan Semino, our top finisher. But the Swede was very wary about declaring a victory. Well, Gunda, congratulations.
Thank you.
How do you feel right now?
Yes, fine, yes, now, but I hope Simjato and Vieto can't go so fast in the last kilometer.
Well, we don't want to jinx you either, but it looks like you have won a gold medal for Sweden in this Olympics, and it must make you feel pretty good.
Yeah, thank you. I hope you're right.
Now the winners. The Soviets were first with Nikolai Zumyatov. It was his fourth Olympic gold medal, having won 3 of them at Lake Placid. And he won today's race on his wife's skis, wearing a visor borrowed from Jack Turner, ABC's expert in cross-country skiing.
Här kommer Wassberg. Ni ser ju nu klockan mot Gunde Svan. Han ska upp på viadukten. Han har passerat den. Där ska han vara. Därifrån tar det ungefär minuten. Och då är det stenhårt mellan Wassberg och Gunde Svan. Kanske har Wassberg någon sekunds ledning vid den här passeringen. Och han vet ju om nu att det gäller guld eller silver. Han vet att det gäller 100-delar, 10-delar. Någon sekund kanske bara. Klarar Thomas Wassberg. Titta vilka mäktiga, underbara, härliga stavtag och vilken skridskoåkning han har nu. Näst sista kurvan passerar han där. Och då har han alltså 40 sekunder på sig nu för att slå Gunde Svan i detta fantastiska svenska lopp i Sarajevo. Nu har han bara 250 meter kvar, det är 30 sekunder. Ja, det är stenhårt de två emellan. Kommer han klara Svan? Jag tror att han har en liten möjlighet att göra det. Han har sista svängen kvar och han har inte många sekunder på sig. Han har 20. Jo, det här kommer att gå vägen tror jag för Thomas Wassberg. 100 meter kvar, 15 sekunder. Oj, var det med något liknande? Eller Bjarne, vad heter det? Här kommer Wassberg. Och han vinner loppet. Han kommer att vinna det här loppet. Han vinner olympisk guld. Ja, visst gör han det. Han vinner där. Han segrar med 5 sekunder före Gunde Svan. Vilket härligt, underbart lopp han har gjort. Och här kommer Kervis Niemi. Väl, titta på honom. Nu är han nöjd, säkert.
Ja, han är belåten. Det ser man på honom. Och det har ju varit lite knackigt för honom i vinter här. Men han har kommit starkt här under OS.
But way up ahead now, near the finish line, that's Gunde Svan in the lead, a considerable lead now over the Soviets, and he is going to win the gold medal for Sweden. It will be his second gold medal of this Olympics for this young 22-year-old soldier from Sweden, and he is going to send his countrymen into paroxysms of elation.
He realized he looked over his shoulder, he knows he's got it in the bag. This is the Super Bowl for these guys. National pride is right on the line.
Oh, look at that. Yes, sir, I am #1. Gunde Swan anchoring the Swedish team to the gold medal. Ahead of the Soviets, here comes Zimyatov now. They'll take the silver, but not the gold. An upset of a kind, Jack, isn't it?
I think they're a little disappointed. I think the Swedes are kind of snickering because they knew that they weren't really favored to beat the Soviets in this race.
And they stayed to their plan, the Swedes did. Just let the Russians make the pace, stay close to them, and then kick at the end. And that's exactly what happened. And there's a happy bunch of Swedes.
Right in front of the King of Sweden today.
And here, a very tight race for 6th place between West Germany and Italy. And West Germany will win it by a 1/10 of a second.
And they didn't get a medal, but that's a national battle.
And here is Bill Koch of the United States. The United States will finish in 8th place, despite the fact that Bill had a very fine anchor leg.
It really says a lot for him, too, that he can push so hard even though he knows he hasn't got a chance to place. And it's tough going out there. Those guys work it.
Well, as you know, he says winning isn't as important as doing your best, and he did his best as we look at the final standings.
.3. Risby was the number 38. We expected to see the Soviet skier next, Smetanina, but here it is, Hämäläinen, unmistakable in her towering form, even from a distance, and you can hear the Finns yelling themselves hoarse through the blustering wind.
Diana, she's really skiing well. Her coaches are out on the course. They've got radios. They're letting her know how she's doing in this race, but she's got to keep pushing. She's got to go hard all the way to the finish. She knows there's her time. She's ahead of Risby right now. It's going to be a question of how many seconds.
We are seeing a potential gold medal. Maria-Lisa skiing her way into the history books here, right in front of us.
Oh, that's better than 20 seconds over Risby, Diana. She really punched in a hard one, and the only people that I think can catch her are probably Aunli and Yariova. They're still out on the course, but she's got to be happy because they're going to really have to get it on to get in here.
Look at this. There's pain after a draining race like that, but I guarantee if she gets the gold, there'll be much elation.
You know, Diana, you talked about the endurance aspects of cross-country earlier in the show, but you know, Maria is really a good example of the power that comes in with every step and every pole plant. She goes further and faster down that track.
These are the eyes of Maria-Lisa Hämäläinen, the favorite in today's women's 10-kilometer race. Last year, Hämäläinen came out of nowhere to win the World Cup. Today it was different. Today, Maria-Lisa Hämäläinen had her eyes on Olympic gold. But that is never easy. There are long miles of uphills and downhills. There are people to be passed, the personal race to be run. Today, Maria-Lisa Hämäläinen ran that race, hoping at the end would be that Olympic gold. She led at the halfway point. When she reached an uphill 3/4 of the way through, she knew her moment might be at hand if she could hold out, finish the course. Because in cross-country racing, you must use it all. Finally, at long last, the finish. And at the finish, she slumped in exhaustion. She had run perhaps the race of her life. In the process, she had used every last bit of energy in her body. But there was still one woman who could challenge her for the gold. Raisa Smetanina, the 5-time Olympic medalist. As Smetanina finished, Hämäläinen, surrounded by her teammates, looked up at the scoreboard and realized she had won. Exhaustion turned to exaltation. She shared the victory with her friends, teammates, and supporters. In the cool blue eyes, now was an exhausted look, but the look of a champion. Maria-Lisa Hämäläinen, the first gold medal winner of the 14th Winter Olympic Games.
And today, she went off chasing another gold medal. At the 3.5-kilometer mark, it did not seem to be slipping away from Marya, although there was a long way yet to go. And those disciplines can lead to power, and this young lady, Marya Lisa, has power, Jack Turner, doesn't she?
You are so right, but I'll tell you what, she doesn't bull her way through. Of course, she has got the finesse of a much quicker skier.
So you would say she has a beautiful blend of strength, stamina, and technique.
Look how these other girls are struggling compared to her. She's blowing away.
Number 27, Blanka Paulu of Czechoslovakia, and she is running very well today.
She really is, and she has never really done well in Olympic or World Championship competition. She knows she's got a chance here.
Number 4, Ann Yarin of Norway, one of the great Norwegian girls who have probably the deepest team here at the Olympics.
Oh, they really did, and you know, this was a very tough race for her because she had to set the pace for everybody else.
Another one of the favorites was Raisa Smetanina of the Soviet Union, number 42, a powerful skier.
That lady has 3 golds and 3 silver medals from 3 Olympic Games. And look at these skiers struggling on the hill, and Marya Lisa's right behind, cruising in on them.
Marya, like all good athletes, makes the very difficult look so easy. She may be well on her way to becoming the female counterpart of the great Sixten Jernberg of Sweden, who wrote the book on Olympic cross-country skiing. And as the race progressed, Marya Lisa looked like someone for whom they might issue a commemorative stamp someday.
Jack, you know, she skied the 1980 Games and was on the national team for a few years, but she never really showed any signs of greatness. And in fact, I heard that she almost quit in 1982. But then in last year, the World Cup came to Lahti, and she won. And she won the last 3 World Cup races of the season and took the title.
Well, greatness comes late sometimes. Ann Yarin of Norway was the first major contender to finish, and her time was the one that everybody had to beat. The cross-country race in Olympic history was coming to an end this morning as Blanka Paulu of Czechoslovakia finished just behind the time of Ann Yarin of Norway.
She was rated as a long shot in this race for a medal, and she really skied her heart out.
Then Marya Lisa came to the home stretch, the cheers of her countrymen ringing in her ears, and she was moving beautifully.
She really had it in overdrive, Jack, pushing all the way to the finish because she knows that she is cruising.
And with that final thrust, she crossed the finish line and was the leader.
She's tired after a long race like that, Jack. But you know, her coaches have been out there. They've been giving her information, letting her know how she's doing. And I think she knows that there's really very little chance that she hasn't gotten another gold.
The tremendous exertion that cross-country skiing takes from the athlete's body, but it's amazing how quickly you people come back, Jack. Here is Blanka Paulu of Czechoslovakia, and the tears mean she realizes there probably will be no medal for her.
The reason for that, Jack, is that Raisa Smetanina was still on the course, one of the greatest racers of all time.
And this was Rice's finish, and her time was good enough to edge Ann Yaren of Norway for the silver medal.
Jack, that's probably the greatest way you can finish off an Olympic career, a 7th medal.
Tremendous performance by the Soviet girl. And a remarkable performance by the young Finnish girl, Maria-Liisa Hämäläinen, her 3rd individual gold medal and the smile of victory. Sometimes in our rush to interview athletes, we members of the press and television forget our manners. But in Europe, the press and TV people have taken the art of pushing and raised it several kilometers. This scene has been repeated every day at the cross-country skiing venue, and it is remarkable that someone has not been hurt in the octopus tangle of cables and probing of microphones shoved in the general direction of the winner. The athlete is literally hounded like a mad dog, shouted at and mauled. And today, in the moment of her greatest victory, Maria-Liisa ran like a startled reindeer from the members of the 4th Estate, clutching her skis and poles, but keeping her Olympic fairy tale dream alive for some younger Maria-Liisa Hämäläinen.
As we turn next to Tom Sandberg of Norway in 5th spot, and this man had big profits from the 2nd round rejumps. A lot of people rate him the man to beat, but he had to have the luck of the rejump to put him in the position that he's in right now. Tom Sandberg.
Timing looked good, and he's driving it way down. Beautiful landing. He's going to love that one.
Long jump, 88 meters. That will be worth 105.8, gives him 214.7 points, and he now takes the lead.
As he approaches the in-run, you can see the forward compression and the snap at the knees. Powerful, smooth, and there he rolls it over. Aerodynamically, it's excellent, and a beautiful landing.
Tom Sandberg of Norway, now in the lead at 214.7.
And the winner was Tom Sandberg of Norway, finishing 2nd in the cross-country division to go with his 1st place finish in the jump and the gold medal. It was the 1st gold medal in these games for Norway. And the Norwegians loved it. Norway's Erik Gabalfoss, who won the bronze medal last week in the 20-kilometer biathlon, had moved into 1st place. But he missed a shot in his 2nd shooting sequence and had to ski a penalty lap. Erik Gabalfoss is a 24-year-old student from Voss, Norway. Last year, he was the 10-kilometer biathlon world champion. He missed 2 targets today, had to ski 2 penalty laps, but oh, how he skied. He finished brilliantly to take over 1st place for Erik Gabalfoss. The Norwegian hero of the moment was hoisted on the shoulders of his countrymen. His name would ring out tonight from Kristiansand in the south to Kirstad in the north. This is the face of Peter Unger of West Germany, and he is truly a world-class biathlete.
He really is, and he's in the German military with the Border Patrol. And you know, he just happens to be an instructor of marksmanship and cross-country skiing. I think that probably helps his biathlon training.
I would think so. He's a pretty good skier, too, isn't he? Look.
Yeah, he is, and you know, look at the track. It's kind of getting washed out. It's difficult, and he's tired there. So he is a good skier.
And now approaching the crucial part, approaching this firing range. Let's see his technique here. How is it?
This is really a strong point. He only missed 2 shots today. You see him nod there. His coach was giving some instructions about the wind or how he shot the last time. But now that he's getting down there and ready to shoot, you could blow a foghorn off back there. He wouldn't even hear it. He's total concentration on those targets. You know, in a race this long, too, this is really hard to be consistent.
Now, all the time we have watched him here, his heartbeat has slowed down, hasn't it?
It really has. Some of these guys have trained so well that they can actually time the shot to come between heartbeats so the gun is as steady as possible.
That's one.
2.
Just squeezing it off so well, isn't it?
Right, and something else, he's very quick here. Other athletes take a lot of time to get relaxed. He comes in, very efficient movements. Every time he comes into this range, it's the exact same set of movements. Very quick, very efficient. Look how quickly he gets up.
Perfect score, and look at him out on the track already.
Right. He's in and out faster than anybody else. This is what really carries his racing, is the shooting. He'll be right out there. He knows he's doing well. He just has to trade on into the finish.
Peter Unger. It was his day. He won the gold medal, the first one for West Germany in the Winter Games since 1976. His time, 1 hour, 11 minutes, 52.7 seconds. Jack, he doesn't even look like he's breathing hard.
He's a good athlete.